I'm gonna leave our house. My mama is away. Go away.
I am surrounded by freaks.
In our ongoing effort to bring you all the creators we can get our hands on, introducing writer Henri Kompan.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome to my video outhouse. It's time once again for another edition of Meet the Creator. And today we are meeting
Henri Kompan.
Hey, Henri's here. Henri is a small publisher. He's done one book. One book?
2 books now.
Well, 2 books. 1 book, 2 issues. And that book is Yi Sun Shin?
Warrior and Defender.
Warrior and Defender. Warrior and Defender. Now this book, this is a different book. It's a war book, and it's about a war that took place in the Korean Peninsula back in the late 1500s. Now, you may be asking yourself, why would anyone care about such a thing? Well, he does, and he has a very good reason for caring about it. Why don't you tell us what is the reason for you wanting to put this book together in the first place?
All right. Well, I'm a big comic book fan.
Okay.
And I've always been interested in stories about heroes and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Batman's always been a favorite of mine.
Okay.
And one cool thing about Batman is the fact that he's just a normal guy, no superpowers.
Right.
Well, the cool thing about this guy is he's also a normal guy without superpowers, but he actually existed.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that he beat the Japanese 23 times in a row. And after reading books like 300, I was like, wow, this is something that people would find interesting.
I want you to give people some background as to this battle, because I'm sure most people watching have no idea what this battle was or how it came about or what
sure.
the deal is with it.
Okay, cool. So in 1592, Japan decided that they wanted to take over all of Asia.
Okay.
So they started by invading Korea in order to get to China.
Mm-hmm.
So when they came into Korea, they basically wiped through the entire country within a matter of 3 weeks.
Okay.
The only thing that they didn't factor in was the fact that this Korean admiral, Yi Sun Shin, was waiting for him and was ready. And 3 weeks after they had invaded, he led a guerrilla assault on them and pounced on them and basically beat the living crap out of them. Took out 70 ships with only 30 of his own.
Now you said he's an admiral, so this is a sea-based story,
Yeah, this
or
is
isn't land-based?
No, this is all sea-based. But
Okay.
actually, prior to fighting on sea, he actually fought on land too. So he had experience both on land and sea. But our story is basically about, it's focused around the naval battles that he fought within that 7-year period. So once he beat the Japanese in that first battle, he started to, a number of events started to trigger that put him in a much higher place. And there's a lot of political strife that happened within Korea while they were fighting this big huge war with Japan.
Okay.
And it's not the boring politics like the kind of stuff that you see on CNN. It's the fun stuff that builds character and shows why this guy is such a cool hero.
Well, you said this is more like, this has a lot of parallels with 300.
Yeah.
Which was an actual battle that took place between the, as I remember, not the Phoenicians.
The Greeks and the Persians.
Greeks and the Persians, which of course Frank Miller made famous, and the movie 300 came from, but that's not the very first time you've ever seen that. So tell me, besides having a love for this story and this character, what have been some of your other influences? You talk about Batman. You like Batman a lot. What other characters have you liked?
The character that actually got me into comics when I was a kid was Spider-Man.
Okay.
I've always been a big Spider-Man fan.
That's cool.
As I grew up, my taste kind of evolved a little bit, and I started to like more of the dark characters like Wolverine and Batman. I like Superman a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some good Superman stories out there.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Birthright. That was my favorite Superman story of all time.
Yeah, it was Lionel Francis Yu.
Oh yeah.
I forget the writer.
Mark Waid.
Mark Waid.
Yeah, fantastic story.
That's right. So, in this book, okay, you wrote it.
Yeah.
Okay, who did the art on the book? It wasn't you.
No, it wasn't me. Definitely not me. Giovanni Timpano. He's based out of Italy, and I found him in 2008 through digital webbing.
Okay.
After that, we recruited a colorist that I found through a friend. She's based in Argentina.
Okay.
Her name is Adriana de los Santos.
Okay.
And then not long after that, we found our letterer. He's also based out of Argentina, and we found him through Adriana. His name is Joel Saavedra.
Okay.
And once I had the whole team together, we we built out the first issue and illustrated it and everything. And then we put a few issues out there just to kind of test the market.
Right.
And after that, I decided, hey, it's time for me to bring on an editor and really, see where things can go. So
Now, you wrote the first issue by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, but the second issue, which is out now.
Yeah.
Okay, you had a co-writer on.
Yes.
And who's your co-writer?
My co-writer is David Anthony Kraft, and
Some of you may remember that name. David Anthony Kraft used to write for comics, Marvel Comics, back in the 70s. He worked on Defenders. He also worked on She-Hulk. He also did a little magazine called Comics Interview, which was a monthly magazine, came out about the same time as Amazing Heroes back in the 80s, where a whole issue would be devoted to either 1 or 2 or 3 interviews of different comic book professionals. How'd you run into David Anthony Kraft?
Jim Salicrup, actually. I found him on Facebook, and I just messaged him one day and said, hey, Jim, I'm looking for an editor. And he said, well, David Anthony Kraft would be interested in helping you out. So I emailed Dave, and he was more than happy to come on board. And it's been a real honor working with him. He's really helped us out in terms of bringing our craft to a whole new level.
Yeah.
So, he works really closely with me and really closely with the team. He's a really honest guy, and he's always there when you need him. So
Now, you don't actually work with him. I mean, you two aren't sitting together in a room. You're sending stuff.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, this is an international project. Right. So
I was picking up on that. You've got an artist in Italy. You've got a colorist and a letterer in Argentina. And where's Dave at?
Dave's in Georgia.
Dave's in Georgia.
He's on top of a mountain in Georgia.
And you're in Chicago.
The story's based in Korea.
And the story's based in Korea. So there you go.
And that doesn't limit us to where we're working too. Like, I actually wrote issue 3 in Korea while I was in Korea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and I called up Gio one day on Skype, and he couldn't hear me. So it was funny because I'd never actually talked to Gio on the phone before, and I always imagined that he would kind of be a difficult person to chat on the phone with because sometimes when you ask him to make changes, he's like ready to kill us. But when I call him up on the phone, he's like, "Who's there?" And I'm like, trying to talk to him, he couldn't hear me. So either way, we were able to chat and get everything going. But it's great to be able to work with these guys. They're all very passionate, especially Gio. He's extremely passionate about working on the book.
Yeah.
Very excited. Everybody is, and so
that's the wonder of the internet. When I'm an old fart, but once upon a time, if you wanted to make a comic book, okay, you had to find somebody in the area because that's the only people you knew. If you wanted to write, if you're looking for an artist or a writer or something, you'd come to comic book stores, you'd go to conventions, and you'd look for other people. Now, you can go on the internet, and you can find an artist in Italy, and a letterer in Argentina, and a co-author in Georgia, and you can put together a book, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I started out actually with working with local talent, and I learned a lot through that experience. It didn't quite go how I wanted it to. Yeah. There were a good group of people, but I think we all had different ambitions within the industry. So we all went our separate ways. But when after that experience, I took a step back and I really evaluated what I needed to do in order to get to where I wanted to be. So I spent a lot of time reading comics actually, and paying attention to the kinds of things that I want to see and what other people want to see in books. So, and that's pretty much how I came about bringing the team together.
Now, issue 1 came out last year. Issue 2 is out now. How many issues are you planning for this?
Well, what we're doing is this is going to be broken up into like a trilogy. So the first part of the trilogy is 4 issues. And that covers the first year of the war. Issue 3 is in production right now. Dave and I are working on the scripts for issues 3 and 4. We don't have an exact date yet on when issue 3 will be ready because we're editing issues 3 and 4 together. And once we do that, we probably will get the first trade out. So I'm thinking sometime by the end of the year we should have issue 3 done.
Okay.
And issue 4 will definitely be out in 2011, and same with the graphic novel not too long after that.
Now, if people want to get a hold of you, is there an email address that they can send to, or on a website?
Yeah, why don't I send you to the website? It's www.yisooonshin.com, yisunshin.com. And you can also see the website on the back of the book. Yeah. And,
which is available here at Alternate Reality.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also a store list of, so you can find Alternate Reality's address on there. Okay. And my email address is inside the interior front cover of the book.
Okay.
And feel free to contact us anytime and let us know what you think.
Okay. So that's Meet the Creator with
Henri Kompan.
and Henri. Has his book down here at the store. Stop on down and pick it up. Or if you're not in the area, go to your local comic book store and ask them for it, or go online and send Henri an email and ask him, where you can get it at in your area. So until next time, this is Comic Book Man
Henri Kompan.
saying,
Bye.